is in section number 3, or part 3 of our percents. So we know that we take 1% of 100, we get 1. And we learned last time that if we take 1% of anything, 327 will equal our decimal point will move over 2 times to the left, and we get 3.27. So no matter what, you're always going to get the right answer when you have 1%, because you know how to get 1%. You may not get other percents, but you know how to do 1% and 10%. It's very quick and very easy. Now, we're going to get to. If I know that 1% is 3.27, what happens if I said I wanted 2% of 327? So 327, 2% of 327. Well, it's similar to doing 10%. I know 1% equals what? 3.27, right? I don't know how many 1% do I need? 2. Multiply this by 2. Just like that. And so 2 times 7 is 14, carry 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. My decimal point move over twice, so I'll move it 2 here. There it is. So 2% of 327 equals 6.54. Just like that. Now you've done this, and you've been able to do it mostly in your head. All right, so let's go ahead and try a couple more. All right, so if I gave you 1% of 3721, let's see if you can figure that out. I'll give you a second. Okay, it's quite simple. I know 1% of this is going to equal 37.21. Simple, right? But what if I wanted 6% of 372? What would I need to do for that? Well, first thing we would do, very first thing, is what's 1%? We know 1% is 3.72. But how many 1% do we have? 6 of them, exactly. So we multiply this by 6. Isn't that familiar? Remember how we did the same thing on the 10% when we had a 40 or 30%? Same thing. So if I multiply this out, I get 12, 42, 43, carry the 4, 18 plus 4 is 22. Decimal place number once, twice. So the answer of 6% of 372 is 22.32. Done. Quite easy. Okay. All right. So if you need to figure this out again or don't understand what we just did, go back, look through the video, rewind the video, go over it as many times as you need to understand what we're doing. Now, we understand 1%. We understand 10%. We understand 30%. And we understand 3%. So let's put it all together. Yes, I said it. Let's put it all together. So if I gave you 33% of 123, there you go. Okay? 33% of 123. So very first thing you're going to do is start with the tens plate, the tens. So I know that 10%, we're going to start here. 10% equals, what does it equal? That's right, 12.3. Replace our ones. I don't want 10%. I want 3 10%, right? 10, 20, 30. So I need 3. So multiply this by 3. Once I multiply that by 3, I end up multiplying this by 3, and we get 30% is equal to 963. 30% is equal to 36.9. Now we're not finished yet because we already did the 3. Let me circle that in green so you can notice what we did. This is for that one. Okay. I'm going to use my red. Now we're going to do this next one. What's that going to be? Well, I know that 1%, because we're looking for 3% now, 1% is equal to 1.23. But how many percents are we looking for? 3 of them. So multiply by 3. So this is going to be 3.69. That's going to be this one, which I forgot to put 3 here, multiply by to make this 3%. So you can see that 3% equals 3.69, 30% equals 36.9. So if I said 30% plus 3% will give me 33%. Correct? Correct. Therefore, the numbers that represent the percent need to be added also. So we'll take 36.9 plus 3.69. So all I do now is add that together. So if I put a 0 there, that's just going to be 9. 15, carry the 1. That's 10, carry the 1, 4. So answer to 33% of 123 is 40.5. Done. That's how you do it by hand. No calculator, by hand. Okay. So, yes, it is long. It is drawn out. The point is, you know how to do it, and you know how to get the answers without the calculator. To give you a chance to use your own brain. All right, we're going to do one more before we end this section. Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you 42% of 90. So I have 42% of 90. So first one we're going to do, we'll do 40%. We're going to do 40% of 90. We already know that 10% is equal to, all right, 10% is equal to 9. We don't want 10, we want 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. So we want 4. So we multiply by 4, we get 36. Quite simple. The next part we're going to do, 2%. Know that 1% is equal to what? 0.9. We have 2 of them, so it ends up 18. 1% over here, so it's 1.8. So we know that 1%, we're looking for 2%. So we know 40 plus 2 is 42%. Therefore, we'll add 36 to 1.8. We get 37.8. So 37.8, 42% of 49 of 90 is 37.8. If I did that fast, that's okay. You can take the video, you can rewind it, you can see how I use what I knew about percents so that I can multiply the 10% and the 1% to get my answers. Hope this helps. See you next time.